Nelson Mandela once said, "My family is very large, 42 million. Petty Kauser grew up in a big family, although not quite 42 million, 9 to be exact. Could you imagine being a mom to 9 children? Wow. I want to welcome Patty to the podium reading 7 of 9 as she pays tribute to her amazing mother. Patty?
Seven out of 9. Depending on your age, in an era of reality television, you may have watched an episode or two of the TV show that featured a big family. Think The Waltons, Brady Bunch, Eight is Enough, Step by Step, or The Cosby Show. In those shows, the parents were outnumbered and the audience reveled in episode after episode that featured the parents attempting to manage their gaggle of children, and by the end of each episode, the issue is resolved and tied up in a pretty neat bow. But was that how did that show how a large family was? When I mention reality TV, I should probably mention that I grew up in a family of 9 children. I am number 7. My parents should have stopped when they reached perfection. But no, they added 2 children to the brood after my birth. What nerve. Much like TV moms, Mom Walton and Mrs. Brady, my mom worked at home raising a family and was always there for us kids, except when she was having babies. One of my first memories was her saying she was going to the hospital, and when she would return home, she would have a little present for us. As it turned out, my sister was born the day after Christmas, and when my mom returned home, she brought her home in a stocking. I remember thinking, well, this isn't a present. It's another sibling. Yay, one more sister. Unlike Carol Brady, my mom had 6 girls. Can you imagine 2 Marcias, 2 Jans, or 2 Cindys? Not good. My older sister was definitely a Marcia. We remember how Marcia was. The next oldest sister, were not Jan or Cindy. They were more like the older sister from the Cosby, Sandra, the insanely smart one, and the Brady cousin Oliver, who came on the scene just to keep the show going. One thing about the sitcoms is that you never saw the mom go grocery shopping. Imagine shopping for a family of 11. Can you imagine the groceries and the bills for all that food? I bet those sitcom moms never had to, but my mom spent hours cutting her coupons, going to Eagle, her favorite grocery store, and stocking up of a plethora of groceries that would, if we were lucky, last a week. I don't think I ever heard her complain about going grocery shopping. I do weekly. It's probably because it was her only chance to get out of the house for a few hours, while we starved waiting for her. There were a few things that she would buy, and one of our favorite was cereal. She would buy what seemed like 10 boxes a week. My mom used to have to cut my brother off after 5 bowls. He loved his cereal. Those boxes came in handy, too, if one of us were mad at our siblings or they were mad at me, which was usually every day. Every morning, if you were lucky, you'd be the first one down, you'd take the cereal boxes, and you build a fort around you. This way, you didn't have to look at the person you're mad at, or vice versa. But sometimes, I would look over my fort, click my tongue, and give them the stink eye. As long as we weren't fighting, my mom would pretty much leave us alone because she knew in a couple hours we would get along, and we usually did. Another era in which the sitcom moms were never portrayed realistically is how they disciplined. Although Claire Huxtable possessed some sass, the other moms would simply ground or talk to their children in a calming manner. My mom was the strong, silent type. Although she rarely raised her voice or got mad, But when she did, you knew you were in trouble. That, or when she used your full name. Patricia Ann DiCrispino, the dreaded middle name. She rarely spanked us, but when she did, it was with a wooden spoon. I am a wooden spoon survivor. One time, she broke the wooden spoon on my sister's bottom, and we thought that was the end of that. We had a goodbye wooden spoon party. It was great. Until she came home with a bigger and stronger one. Like many moms on TV, my mom always made our birthday special. She would ask what we wanted for our dinner and make our favorite cake. My choice for birthday dinner was always beef stew, yellow cake with yellow icing. Even though my family never really liked my pick, she usually would make it. Sorry, fam. Although sometimes we got a glimpse of sitcom families sharing dinner together, dinner time was big in my house. My mom cooked every night and we ate at 5:30 on the dot. My mom is a great cook, and there weren't many meals she made that I didn't like, except for spaghetti. Ugh. Because I detested them. Ugh. The rule was, if you were not at school function, you ate with the family, or you did not eat dinner at all. To avoid eating spaghetti, I would go across the street to my best friend's house and wait for dinner to be over. When I would see my dad through the window in his seat, I knew it was safe to come home. In the kitchen, my mom would have a bowl of just meat from the sauce that we would eat. She never wanted her kids to be hungry, and by kids I mean 9 plus all our friends. Being a mom has made me appreciate all she did for me and my siblings. Unlike television shows, life often was tough for a large family. I may have been number 7 out of 9, but she always made me feel like number 1. Well, most of the time. I was a teenager once. Now that would be great reality television.